Greetings, Scorpio. Hey, thank you for joining me and welcome to your April reading. We will be using these decks of cards. This is the John Holland Psychic Tarot. This one is Gods, Goddesses and Angels. And this one is Power of Surrender. So April brings us into a time where we see some religious festivities around the world. The Easter will be occurring. Now, oftentimes when these energies are around, the portals are open more to access the spiritual perspective or dynamic of life. So I often find at these times we can receive more messages, we can feel into the spiritual plane with more ease. And you guys, Scorpio, you and Pisces, I think, are perhaps two of the most spiritually aligned and perhaps two of the most psychic of the astrological signs. So you guys might feel a lot of energy anytime, and I guess from around about now right through to April and perhaps the end of April. You might hear or see certain things or visions. You might find flickering lights about you more often. Things like doors opening and closing in your home. Sometimes our telephones, not so much the modern iPhones, but certainly old landlines, used to be a very easy way for spirit to access and make communication with us. So you guys might find some of that communication become quite obvious. And if it is, if you do notice it, it could very well be people trying to connect with you for various messages, and might be people you know, such as passed over loved ones. You might also find this is a time to connect with the higher vibrational realms, such as the angelic realm, spirit guides, ascended masters and things like that. Now, before we go into the reading, I did do some intuitive messages for you. I'll pass those along to you and we'll just see how they tie into the reading. The first sentence was hang in there. So I'm not sure what that means, but for some of you, you might be feeling as though there's been something arduous going on and you're thinking, oh, can I be bothered doing this any longer? Do I have to keep going? But it was hang in there. So something must be about to come to an end that will benefit you in some way. You may be feeling restricted or have restrictions placed on you, and you might be feeling tied up or anxious. Now, there is a lot of anxiety around the world at the moment, especially with the COVID-19 or the coronavirus. You know, a lot of this is more anxiety that's mental anxiety than the actual virus itself. But some of the ways that you can help to increase your own immunity, and I've done a video on this, I'll put the link to that at the bottom of the video. But a couple of basic things are getting sunshine, and if you can't be in a place where sunshine is, vitamin D could be relevant to take, as well as vitamin C. Now, they're not produced by our liver, those particular vitamins, so we do need to keep up with them. And vitamin C is a well-known antioxidant, but it's also very good at helping the body to build high levels of immunity to fight against things like flus. The number 4 might be relevant, and since we are moving into the 4th month, well, I guess it is relevant in terms of that, but the number 4 might mean something to some of you. And there may also be an Aries person who could be involved in a situation in your life that is creating some of these feelings, such as being restricted or having restrictions placed on you, or feeling a bit anxious. You may also be involved in something in April that involves legal issues or with government institutions. So that could be a whole raft of different things, but I felt for some of you there's like a signing of papers or documents or forming something, and maybe attending like a big government institution, and they could be the IRD, like the Inland Revenue, they could be hospitals, they could be births, deaths, marriage certificate places, they could be councils, they could be politicians or consulates or anything, but there seems to be something quite legal around the month of April for a lot of you. What it does say is to play things by the law and do things in the right way. So cross your T's and dot your I's, follow the law and follow protocols, which will help to alleviate anxiety or this feeling of restriction. Also seeking counsel if you need to regards a legal matter, because it feels as though a lot of you have a lot on your mind and you may have been working through a situation that may have been going on for quite some time. It could even be 9 months or longer even. Now, for some of you, this could involve a partnership, such as a business partnership, and for some of you, it's a personal, intimate relationship. They also said to pay attention to your breathing, because when you calm your breathing down, you regain control of a situation. So deep breathing was mentioned, and for a lot of you, the idea of taking on yoga and learning how to manage your breath and breathe from the diaphragm as opposed to shallow breathing from the lungs could be very, very beneficial for you. So those were your messages that you received. That's quite a lot that came in. Let's see what the cards have to say or add to for Scorpio for April 2020. The solar plexus chakra is the area of the body where we regain our personal strength, where, gosh, you guys, you've got another one to focus on. It is also the area of the diaphragm in the body. It's the top of the diaphragm, or the bottom sits in the solar plexus area, which is kind of around the stomach. So there's definitely something in here for you guys about either regaining strength or mastering strength or rebalancing parts of your physical body, especially if you are anxious. Now, this is the third eye chakra between our eyes on our head, and this is where you sense your psychic self from, where you hear intuitive messages, where you might receive psychic messages such as from the spirit world or spirits trying to communicate with you. This is also the gut instinct here. So a lot of this is tuned into your psychic realm or messages that are coming in at the moment. For some of you, you are almost going to experience something quite otherworldly in April, and some of you may be growing your aspirations in the psychic realm. You might be more interested in it. You might be honing in on those particular aspects of life, or you might have even been hearing messages coming or having large synchronistic events occurring. And as I said, some of you might be seeing white flickers of light, like little angelic sparkles of light around, or shadows in the background that could be from this spiritual aspect. So beings not from this plane. But if we come back to looking at the physical perspective of these two chakras that have come up, strengthening them, opening them, and making sure that they are flowing well in case there is a blockage in that area of your body. And you can do that by utilizing the colors associated with those, wearing those colors, meditating with them, or eating foods with those sort of colors. You can also listen to a variety of different meditations on things like YouTube that give that vibrational frequency off. I do think for a lot of you, oh my God, and this was the third card that just jumped out and I've picked it up off the floor. This is now the base chakra. Well, the base chakra is the bottom one. It's, if you like, if we look at this card, the base chakra is here, the solar plexus is here, and the third eye is up here. Definitely the base chakra is the first chakra connected to the earth. So it's where we allow energy coming from earth and it flows up through our chakra systems and out through the crown chakra. So if there are blockages, chakra wheels aren't spinning properly, you could find that you are having trouble with manifestation of the things in your life that these different colors or energy fields represent. And the base chakra is our home, our finances, our job, our career, relationships, family, soul tribe. So there could be a whole bunch of things in here that you want shifted around as the year is moving on. It feels as though there's a lot of wanting to personalize your life again. Like maybe you have been affected by other people and you want to bring it back into yourself. This is so much about you, not really about anyone else. It's about building yourself up from the ground up and strengthening these various areas of your body, having maybe energy work done, opening up these energy fields and allowing the free flow of their knowledge and their integration through the body and the emotional body, so that you can have more manifestation and power back in your life. There's definitely something here about you guys regaining your power and your strength. That is very, very interesting to have. The first three cards come out are all about the chakra, about your body, about regaining health, about focusing on you and balance in your life. Oh my God, now look. Seriously, I'm not, these cards are not stacked and I'm not doing this. Whoa. I've never seen a reading like this ever. So you've now got 4 of the chakras out, and I'm not laughing because I'm not laughing because I think it's a joke. I'm laughing because I'm perplexed as to the message behind this, that this is trying to get to you guys. So the throat chakra is fairly obvious. This is the throat, in the throat area in here. And it's about speaking your truth and being heard and being not afraid to speak up or stand up. So again, this could apply at the personal level within interrelationships, or it could even apply at the bigger level of speaking what needs to be said, whether it's to a community or whether it is even more global, to a global group. Some of you have got a lot to say, and these could be in the form of ideas or developments or inventions or things that are about to be finished or produced or released or made public that could go global. That's what it is for some of you, and all of these things need to come together to kind of help it into the next level or the next stage, whatever this situation is. Now remember, I said some of you feel restricted at the beginning, as if you were anxious or worried, or something was like, you know, restricting you. You feel claustrophobic almost. And these 4 chakra cards that have come out indicate that as well. They indicate it at different levels, because the chakra wheels in our bodily system, they're not physical. You can't see them on people. They're the metaphysical, and they connect very deeply with the emotional and the spiritual, but they also help the physical body to function well. So having these in balance is of prime importance to manifest the things that you want to see in your life. So if they're not in balance, you'll find that we can't so easily communicate or talk or verbalize or even write down things. We also can't listen as well as we should. So we're missing out on a big sphere of communication with ourselves, with our higher self, with our spiritual self, with our family, with our intimate loved one, with our community, with globally. And if our base chakra, the very beginning one at the bottom, is not activated, we're missing out on the manifestation of forming our solid home, our solid job, our feeling of security, our mobilization within the community and our network of friends. If we haven't got the solar plexus working properly, we feel threatened, we lose our inner strength, we lose our power, we lose our momentum, we lose our physical strength, we don't trust our inner innate guidance, we lose our ability to have the psychic realm and to be able to go within to make logical, powerful decisions. And the same with the third eye. When this is shut down, we lose our creativity. We aren't able to daydream and bring in new ideas or fresh perspectives or dynamics, or hear information that is coming from our higher self, or the galactic or the collective conscious or the angelic realm. This also gives us the ability to tap into the pineal gland, which helps to access deep-seated information about our soul journey and who we are and where we want to go. So a very, very powerful reading at many, many different levels for so many of you. I'll keep shuffling because I'm absolutely fascinated that those four should jump out so powerfully like that, all in a row, no other cards. I really do feel for a lot of you that some sort of energy healing or Reiki healing might really benefit you in clearing blockages and allowing more free flow. There are heaps of different people who do energy clearing. I do energy work, I do Reiki work as well and energy work, but it's up to you guys how you want to deal with this. And that is the Five of Pentacles, which isn't a particularly nice card in terms of it can feel as though we are a little bit run down, worn out. This could literally relate to the physical body as well, and it could mean that some of you feel run down as April comes around. And if you do, we've talked about at the beginning, building immunity and resting the body and feeding the soul, as well as nurturing the body, mind and soul. So it's important to listen to your body and to give it the right things it's looking for at the right moment in time. Sometimes it's sleep, sometimes it's a certain food type, sometimes it's a certain mineral or vitamin, other times it's vibrational healing or freedom or movement or exercise. This card can have the feeling that finances may be a little bit restricted for a time, and it could be due to a change in career or a change in a situation, sometimes within a relationship situation. It's a feeling of being left out a little bit and feeling as though you are on your own and as if no one is necessarily there to support you. You may actually go into this with another person, but there is support there for you if you look around and you ask for help. It's a time where it's really important to ask for support from others, and it's also important to note that it is temporary. Yeah, and there's the Tower card. So this is a big month for you guys in many terms. So the Tower does mean change is coming, and it can be sudden and unexpected. I honestly think, you know, with what we see there on the table in front of us, some of you Scorpions are going through, you know, Scorpio is life, death and rebirth. That's what it means. And some of you are literally heading into a very massive time on the planet in this timeline in 2020. So I don't think this is a reading just for April. I think this reading is far more significant, and it could take you in depth into a lot about your life and changes that are coming. If it does happen in April, you might need to do some of these things up here to really balance the body and to support yourself and nurture yourself. The Disruption card is really about change at deep, deep levels. And again, this is very personal. It is not about other people per se. Yes, it can involve other people in the situation, but the current that underlies all of this is you. This reading is for you. It's for your soul. The messages are about you. And as I say, if other people are involved, that might be part of the overall scenario, but the main thing is that you look after yourself, that you find the answers for you, and that you put yourself first. Sacrifice number 12 is the Hanged Man, which could represent a little bit of stalling of something or a timeline issue. It also represents very much at a crossroads and an intersection in life and making a major decision about a change of direction, which we have seen with the Disruption card. If you recall at the beginning, I said the number 4 might be significant to you guys, and we've got 1, 3, 5 and 6, We've got 2 5s and 2 3s, but no 4. I'll pull one more card for you from here. So number 4 in terms of the chakra card is the heart chakra, interestingly enough. Yeah, you guys, now we've got the heartache and loss. Oh, it's kind of like you're going through something very personal, quite big changes. Some of them, they might not be ones that you think you want at the moment. They might be placed on you by other people or because of situations that involve other people. You've got 3 3s technically in here, but because the 12 adds up to 3, and I'm thinking it's very much about gaining strength again and empowering the you. And if there has been a situation that has involved a personal relationship and maybe 3 people were involved, or there was a feeling of a lack of communication and the relationship has fallen apart, then this is the time to regain the strength, to regain the personal power. Sometimes if there is a relationship you are wanting to solve and to save, communication can do this at this point in time. And this is where you might be wise to seek a counsellor or guidance from a third party. So another person who sees the situation and can counsel you without bias. This can turn up when there is a divorce coming or there has been an affair going on. Sometimes you might have been the initiator of an affair, or you might be involved in one within your own personal relationship. It can also represent sorrow around the heart chakra and needing to strengthen the solar plexus chakra, which we have right here as well. For some of you, you need to take good care of your heart health, your physical heart as well. So I don't think we'll spend any more time concerning ourselves there with that. We will take a look at these cards and see what messages are coming. Now these are a fairly intense deck as well. But as I say, because Scorpios, you guys are the intense astrological sign anyhow. Goddess of the earth, an idea connected to imagination, creativity and nature is coming your way. And we talked a little bit about that at the beginning. I said there might be like an idea that is coming, and if we balance all of these different components in the background, you will be able to connect more with your creative self through the third eye and expand on ideas or getting something up and running or published or finished or designed or created, because there is that message that came within the background energy field that I was picking up on as well. So all of those chakra cards were not all bad news. They were just about integration, and once we integrate the energy fields, then we can achieve much more momentum, much more success, much more energy, and boom, everything flows. So yeah, let's see what else is coming for Scorpio for April from these cards. But I think for a lot of you, you've got the potential within this to really crank things up and instigate movement at many, many levels and change of direction, as very personally for you guys. So that's however you want this to play out. You know, what is it you want in life? The goddess of justice. What seems an injustice is actually a blessing. And I've used the word, I think I've used the word justice a couple of times, feeling as though you may have been involved in something legal or requiring legal help, and it's not even necessarily legal, but it's a situation that you might think is unjust, and it is a blessing in disguise. So just remember that if you are going through something that you're feeling pressured or anxious or negative or loss, it's leading you to a better place. And it is hard to accept things like that, especially when we are going through a trying time. Boom. It's exactly what the Tower card is. The angel of new life. An exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. And we can see this really, really prevalently. That's the moon sitting on top of that angel's head. So there's a possibility that this will coincide with moon cycles for you all. And we're coming into, given that this is the April reading, we're coming into the brand new astrological cycle of 2020. So the new moon in April or the full moon in April might be really powerful, and this might be a kicking off point or a starting point for some of these energies to happen. So just another one for Scorpio here. Ooh. Nice, angel of abundance. A steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. And I think if you do some of the work that we've talked about previously, about clearing blockages, about allowing the flow to be brought in, which allows creativity, and once we bring that flow in, you receive abundance. Now remember, abundance can be abundance of anything. Love, happiness, joy, success, good health, relationships, finances, conceptual ideas, bringing them into reality and into this manifestation of this timeline. So it really is a beautiful card with lots of positive energy. Nice one to finish on from that particular deck. So let's take a look over here and see what are the power of surrender cards going to offer you. This is for Scorpio for April. Oh dear, oh dear. Surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. And we sort of saw that when we saw the Three of Swords come in with the heartache and loss. And there's two hearts now being blazoned across the screen, if you like. Heart health or heart issues. And it is so interesting that one of the only, well not one of the only, but one of the ones that didn't come out in terms of the chakra was the heart card. So some of you do have relationships that need a bit of a dealing to or are walking away from. And I think we've seen that message from the get-go. So what else have we got here for Scorpio? And they seem like they're having and it is about regaining your strength and bringing balance back into your dynamic. And as the card said there, upholding you, and you deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. One more. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Now remember, I mentioned about breathing at the beginning. So we know when we're coming to the end of a reading because the messages start to back up on themselves again, and we've kind of come full circle. But the breathing is definitely important for some of you, and that could be due to physical health. Just remember what we talked about at the beginning in terms of building up immunity and keeping your physical body health, but it also is very, very powerful in relaxing the emotional body as well. Now I notice she has a unicorn horn on her forehead at the third eye, and of course you've had the third eye card as well. So surrendering to non-action and being in silence can also be the two strong messages about being in peaceful state to receive your next destination messages about where you want to go and who you want to be and what you want to do. But I can see that I think April is an intense month for you guys. There is a lot going on, and I don't think it's just April. This has been either building up for some time, like it's been simmering away in the background, and for some of you it's about personal relationships, and others it's possibly about career options or choices or business type related matters, or like with groups of people. But focus on your own power and let others come to you, because in doing so you are energizing yourself, who is the most important person in this whole scenario and synopsis. Don't let the others drain your power. Repower yourself up however it takes you over this month of April and into other months of 2020 as we move ahead, because there's no doubt that you've had a powerful reading. But do remember that there is plenty of optimism, hope and opportunity coming your way, especially when you see essences such as this in your reading. So to focus on that is going to strengthen you and buoy you up and give you power, like a powerhouse, like a battery pack. So thank you very much, Scorpio. Thank you for listening and for tuning in. Check your moon and rising signs as well, because there could be some very good messages in there for you. And check that video about the immune status as well. That could be really beneficial for you. So I wish you all a very successful month ahead in April. There is much for you to take on board within the reading, quite a lot to think about and to strategize with. Much love. Namaste.